A quiet man with a restless soul, never wanted fame at all. But somewhere far beyond the sea, a war was making history. Sirens echo through the night, the city's burning, time to fight. They recruited him when hope was gone, one brave soul to carry on. But the enemy was closing in, every plan undone again. So they sent him back where it all began. And all of a sudden, in one quick flash, someone hit him, knocked him out fast. He opens his eyes to a stranger's piercing stare. It's obvious, he wasn't welcome there. Little by little the walls came down, through every fight and lonely day. Somehow they both found a place to stay. But the future burned again in flames. One friend twisted beyond refrain. Dr. L lost control of what he made, and begged Sonic Man to help save the day. Go Sonic Man, lead the way. He'll keep fighting every day, through the darkness up until the bitter end, racing through to save a friend. Sonic Man, hold the line, never leaving you behind, always ready for a fight, standing strong for what is right. The villains fall, and hope arrives, and once again the land begins to thrive.
Hello, people of the internet. Men, women, boys and girls. I'd like to formally welcome you to my world. In my world today, I will be revealing and beginning one of my massive projects that I told you about all the way back in the introduction video for my channel. The first project that I have chosen to reveal to you is Project Mobius. Now, what is Project Mobius? I can hear nobody asking. Project Mobius is my attempt at creating a singular timeline for the Sonic the Hedgehog series. I will be attempting to place the comics, manga, movies, movie novelizations, TV shows, games, books, etc. This has been a passion project that I have been working on behind the scenes for many years. Now, as we go forward with this, I want you guys and gals to remember a few things. This is still a work in progress. This is, for the most part, headcanon. I do not care what you consider canon in the games. So, comments that reflect on this will be ignored as we go on. I do not claim any of these characters as my own. I grew up with their planet being called Mobius. So I don't care if it was retconned. If I want to call it Mobius, I'm calling it Mobius. If you do not like where I have placed something, feel free to make your own timelines. I'd like to see how ours differ, actually. Are we all on the same page here? Yes? Goody, let's begin. In the beginning, nothing but darkness existed. From within the darkness erupts an explosion. Sorry about that. The explosion hurled dust and rocks everywhere. Centuries pass, and several demigods come into being. A pair of dinosaurs were tasked with injecting basic organisms into every planet. At some point, they created the Ring of Eternity to help them with planets that were out of their reach. The spark of evolution was also created. This is where Day 1 would take place.
Oof, talk about a bumpy landing. We've arrived through the Ring of Eternity. We must be back on Mobius.
Home sweet home at last.
Uh-oh, skip the sweet, Techno.
Monsters.
All is in readiness, Commander. This planet is ripe for our needs.
Loosen up, will you, Professor? Can't you just say we're ready to start work?
Forgive me, Commander, but this is a mission of great importance.
When you've done as many planets as I have, you won't be so uptight about it. Move in, do the job, move out. That's my motto.
Typical. We leave Mobius and it gets invaded by dinosaurs in spacesuits.
Time to get to work again, Amy.
Too right. Let's go for it. You've picked the wrong planet this time, aliens.
Life forms? Here?
Impossible! There shouldn't be any intelligent life on this planet.
Hear that, Amy? Those monsters must have exterminated everyone.
Then it's time to take drastic action, Techno.
Defense shields up!
They're not very aggressive, considering they're invading our planet.
Think that's unusual? Look at this. Although we're on Mobius, my scanner shows that we're millions of years in the past.
Whoa!
Please, let us explain. We're here not to destroy life. We're here to create it.
Huh?
Long ago, we constructed the Ring of Eternity so that we could travel to other worlds. Then, we created the spark of evolution on the chosen planets.
You're saying you are responsible for all life in the universe.
Need more proof? Follow me.
He's speaking the truth. Look!
Wow. Tiny forms of life. Are they what we evolved from? Look, Techno, the ring's about to speak.
I've shown you this as a reward for the work you've done so far. However, there are many more adventures in store for you.
We're fading away to our next destination. Why the long face, Amy?
I always thought there was another creator of life.
Well, Amy, I never said who we work for, did I?
It has been speculated that the time of awakening was instigated by the Earth itself to have a balance between light and darkness. The genesis for this event took place at the beginning of time, with the birth of dark and light Gaia following the planet's creation. Following their purposes, dark Gaia sought the planet's destruction, while light Gaia fought to protect it from its dark counterpart. In the end, dark and light Gaia began an endless cycle of destruction and rebirth of the planet. In the cycle, dark Gaia would sleep in the Earth's core for millions of years to gather negative energy and then emerge from the core as perfect dark Gaia, splitting the world apart. Light Gaia would then awaken, return dark Gaia to sleep, and restore the Earth before going back to sleep as well. If dark Gaia were to succeed in his mission, all life on the planet would perish, and the Death Planet would enter a deep slumber until Light Gaia's arrival. We now move on to other properties owned by Sega, which I believe would have taken place here. Lord help me. Altered Beast. Altered Beast, Guardian of the Realms. Golden Axe Warrior. Golden Axe. Axe Battler. A Legend of Golden Axe. The Legend of Golden Axe. Citadel of Dead Souls. Sonic the Comic, Issue 1 through 6. The Legend of Golden Axe, Plague of Serpents, Sonic the Comic, issue 13 through 18. Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder. Golden Axe 3, Golden Axe, The Duel. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap, Remake. Wonder Boy and Monsterland. Wonder Boy 3, Monster Lair. Wonder Boy and Monsterland. Wonder Boy 3, Monster Lair. Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. Wonder Boy, Asia and Monster World. Wonder Boy and Demon World, Sonic the Comic, issues 2 through 9. Wonder Boy and the Ghost World, Sonic the Comic, issues 22 through 27. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Shining Soul 2. Shining Force, The Curse of Xeon, Sonic the Comic, issues 73 through 78. Shining Force CD. Shining Force Gaiden, Final Conflict. Shining Force 2. Shining Wisdom. Shining in the Darkness. Shining the Holy Ark. Shining Force 3. Shining Tears. Shining Force Neo. Shining Force EXA. Shining Wind. Black Arcus from Shining EX. Shining Resonance, Refrain. Shinobi, 3DS. Ryu ga Gotaku, Kinzan. Like a Dragon, Ishin. Chicago Syndicate. Eternal Champions, Death Isn't Forever. Eternal Champions Special. Eternal Champions, Reality Check. Eternal Champions Special. Eternal Champions, Brains and Brawls. Eternal Champions Special. Sakura Wars. Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die. Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? Sakura Wars 4, Fall in Love Maidens. Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. Sakura Wars 2019. Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Alex Kidd in The Enchanted Castle. Alex Kidd in High Tech World. Alex Kidd in The Lost Stars. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. Shenmue. Shenmue 2. Shenmue 3. Shinobi. Yakuza 0. The Revenge of Shinobi. Fist of the North Star. Lost Paradise. Decap Attack, starring Chuck D. Head. Sonic the Comic, issues 10 through 15. Who Killed Chuck? Sonic the Comic, issue 34 through 39. The Replacement. Sonic the Comic, issue 40. Monster of the Year. Sonic the Comic, issues 66 through 68. The Headless Snowman. Sonic the Comic, issue 69. Nanny Knows Best. Sonic the Comic, issue 70. The Bride of Chuck D. Head. Sonic the Comic, issue 71. The Pumpkin Chaser. Sonic the Comic, issue 89. Boris and the Book. Sonic the Comic, issue 90. The Legend of Mr. The Legend of Mr. Cuddle Bunny. Sonic the Comic, issues 91 through 93. Mr. Cuddle Bunny. Right. The Hungry Guest. Sonic the Comic, issue 94. Dead! Sonic the Comic, issues 97 through 99. Walls, Sonic the Comic, issue 101. Life with the Snagsbys, Sonic the Comic, issue 102. Funny Old Game, Sonic the Comic, issue 104. Wish, Sonic the Comic, issue 105. Caught by the Perfects, Sonic the Comic, issue 107 through 108. Dreaded Poople Plague, Sonic the Comic, issue 109. The Tooth, Sonic the Comic, issue 110. The Maltese Budgies, Sonic the Comic, issue 111. Fearless Monster Hunters, Sonic the Comic, issue 113. Chuck and the Cheese Factory, Sonic the Comic, issues 114 through 115. Return of the Pumpkins, Sonic the Comic, issue 116. Christmas Carol 2, Sonic the Comic, issue 119. Chuck's Savings, Sonic the Comic, issue 120. Love is Blind, Sonic the Comic, issue 123. Dog, Sonic the Comic, issue 125. Mother, Sonic the Comic, issue 126. The Dungeon, Sonic the Comic, issue 129. Birthday, Sonic the Comic, issue 130. Decap Man, Sonic the Comic, issues 131 through 132. The House of the Dead, Overkill. Streets of Rage. The Cyber Shinobi. ToeJam and Earl. ToeJam and Earl in Panic and Funkatron. Kid Chameleon, Sonic the Comic, issues 7 to 12. Kid Chameleon, Back to Reality, Sonic the Comic, issues 54 through 59. Kid Chameleon. Echo Jr. Echo the Dolphin. Echo, the Tides of Time. Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. Streets of Rage 2. Streets of Rage, Sonic the Comic, issues 7 through 12. Streets of Rage, Skate's Story. Sonic the Comic, issues 25 through 30. Streets of Rage, Facts of Life. Sonic the Poster Mag, number 7. Streets of Rage, The Only Game in Town. Sonic the Comic, issues 41 through 47. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. Experts. Mutant League, TV show. Mutant League, football. Mutant League, hockey. Bring me the head of Coach Bricka. Sonic the Comic, issues 34 through 36. Streets of Rage 3. Eternal Champions. Sonic the Comic, issues 19 through 24. Eternal Champions. Larson's Revenge. Sonic the Comic, issues 37 through 40. Eternal Champions. Comics Zone. Shinobi Legends. Nights into Dreams. Christmas Nights. Revelations. Persona. Shadow Dancer. The Secret of the Shinobi. The House of the Dead. Remake. Crazy Taxi. Persona 2. Innocent Sin. And Persona 2. Eternal Punishment. The House of the Dead 2. Jet Set Radio. Crazy Taxi 2. Super Monkey Ball. Crazy Taxi 3. ToeJam and Earl 3. Mission to Earth. Shinobi 2002 for PlayStation 2. Nightshade. The House of the Dead 4. Crazy Taxi. Catch a Ride. The House of the Dead 4. Special. Streets of Rage 4. Yakuza Kiwami. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Ivan Kintober is born June 6, 2006. Super Monkey Ball Adventure. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. Yakuza Kiwami 2. House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn. Crazy Taxi Bear Wars. Knight's Journey of Dreams. Yakuza 3. Persona 3 The Journey. Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth. Cast of Persona 3. Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. Yakuza 4. Kuro Ho... Oh, screw that. I'm not even gonna try this. Yeah, that. Just pretend I said it. Persona 3 The Answer. Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth. Super Monkey Ball 3D. Yakuza Dead Souls. Persona 4. Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth. Cast of Persona 4. Persona 4 Golden. Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Persona 4 Arena. And Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Super Monkey Ball Banana Splits. Yakuza 5. Crazy Taxi City Rush. Yakuza 6 The Song of Life. Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth. Cast of Persona 5 and Royal. Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight. And Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight. Persona 5 Tactica. Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth. Cast of Persona 5 and Royal. Judgment. Toe Jam and Earl. Back in the groove. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. House of the Dead 3. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Lost Judgment. Jet Set Radio Future. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Shinobi The Art of Vengeance. Woo! That took a lot out of me. And no, I will not be playing or reading these comics in this video. Screw that, I'm not that invested. During the 21st century of Earth's time, a group of scientists under Dr. Ivan Kintober created Isaac, with his hardware created by Professor Clark, while his software was produced by Dr. Niven. An alien race known as the Zorda attempted to make an alliance with Earth. They sent down an emissary to see to it that the alliance was achieved. However, Dr. Ivan Kintober and his team of scientists captured and dissected the creature. Dr. Kintober used the Zorda technology from the emissary to make a power matrix for Isaac that would end up lasting the robot for over 10,000 years. fearing that the Zorda would launch a full-scale invasion of Earth in retaliation. Several small, self-sufficient cities were constructed in secret and out of view. Angered by the death of their emissary, the Zorda retaliated by launching gene bombs at the planet, triggering volcanic reactions which sent billions of tons of ash and dirt into the atmosphere and almost destroyed all life on the planet. Most of humanity was wiped out in its current form, with the exception of a passenger craft, which was in Earth's low orbit during the attack. Their ship crashed into a mountain, and its surviving population went on to form the hidden cities of Station Square and Sylviana. Kintober programmed Isaac to ensure his survival in the post-apocalyptic environment. Over the next few thousand years, the combined biomatter began to recongeal, and life arose anew. Mobisaurs were the first sapient and dominant species on Mobius, following the Zorda's destructive attack on the planet. The Mobisaurs were saurian in nature, similar to the ancient dinosaur species of Earth, which had dwelled on the planet years before. This is where I would start in the beginning, a comic from Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 71. In the beginning, there was light, and soon there was life, which grew and evolved at differing rates. The most advanced was the echidna. This is where I would place the story, a timely arrival.
Oof! Where am I? Who turned out the lights? What time is it?
To answer your questions, 1, you're in prehistoric Mobius. 2, I turned out the lights. And 3, it's dinner time.
Hokey smokes! A pterodon! Whatever. No way you're chewing on my pork chops, leather wings. Uh-oh, this big lizard thinks I'm a remedy for his sore throat.
Nice of you to drop in.
Sonic the Hedgehog is not about to go down in history as a dino snack. I hope your medical insurance covers dental.
Nice work, cuz.
And they wonder why we became extinct.
Holy evolution! Who are you?
Hey, Sage, out. I'm Sonard the Bog Hog.
Bog hog? Don't you mean hedgehog?
Never heard of a hedge, kiddo. There ain't nothing around here except volcanoes and bogs. Come on, I'll show you, if you can keep up.
Wow, he accelerated as fast as I did, relatively speaking.
What's this? 2 Sonag the Bog Hogs? Or maybe I need to invent bifocals. Bah! It wouldn't matter if there were 100 of them. For I, the wicked and evil Evo Robugnik, will destroy all bog hogs with my primitive machine. Stand by to fire on my command! Your spoken word is law, O Imperial Wide Load. This will be more fun when I get to invent robot slaves in 40,000 centuries.
No kidding! There's a power-crazed caveman named Robugnik? Amazing!
You'll find many things fascinating here, cousin.
You mean like how early it gets dark?
That's not night. It's... Uh-oh.
Tra-la-di-doo-die. The bog hogs have gone. Goodbye.
Very clever, Sonag. Burrowing down before the rock hit us.
These are the underground tunnels where we live. Follow me. Last one there is a rotten velociraptor egg.
Yuck.
Won't you stay for dinner, Sonic?
What are you having?
I told you, rotten velociraptor egg. friends, the Freedom Fighters.
Hi! Whoa, deja vu deluxe. Hey, why doesn't the whole group of us go outside and spin for some takeout?
Gulp. Easy on the outside, Sonic. We don't go there. In fact, we're planning on burrowing further underground. Easy on the outside, Sonic. We don't go there. In fact, we're planning on burrowing further underground.
Really? That's what you're gonna go with?
What? You can't do that. You're my ancestor. You gotta live on the surface, in the sunshine and the fresh air. Otherwise, I'll evolve into Sonic the Mole.
But it's dangerous up there. Dinosaurs! Robotnik!
You'll adapt. Use your brains. Hide in the hedges. The what? Oh, that's right. You don't have hedges yet. Allow me to show you, Salug.
Wait!
Where are you guys going?
See, you dig up these bushes and replant them in a row. Trim them up, add the two-level effect.
Land sakes!
Don't you mean landscape? Gee, they do seem happier and more free out here.
Sure, someday you'll thank me for this. Great, Grandpa.
I'll be right back. I'm going to invent the shovel.
We'll do it. Like you said, adapt. Use our grains.
No, your brains. Whoa!
How rude. Eat, disintegrate, and run.
No. I think I like them better over there.
I wish Sonic would come back so I could personally thank him.
Hey, we'd like that zany Sonic to come back too. I'd hedge any bets that you'd like that too.
If so, Chisel, write a letter to Sonicgrams.
Okay, for this next part, I need to give a little context. The next event that comes up chronologically is the coming of the Chaos Emeralds. However, directly after that is the extinction of the Mobisaurs. However, due to some inconsistencies in the timeline, I am adding this portion a little later. Now, what are the inconsistencies? Well, directly after the coming of the Chaos Emeralds, the Mobisaurs are wiped out. However, they are seen in Fleetway's rendition of the Great War. They are also seen in the past segment of Prehistoric Sonic. So, let me ask you this. How could something take place 10,000 years ago contradict something that happens 8,000 years ago? And I know there's one person that's probably going to be like, oh, it's a different continuity. I don't care. I'm trying to make a singular continuity. The Dracon Empire is an intergalactic empire that presumably encompasses several planets and species. The center is Drac, home of the Draken people. Society is led by Master Scholar, House of Knowledge, Sister Hagara, House of Magic, and Emperor Brocken, House of War. Prior to the Great War of Mobius, the Dracon Empire developed an unstable energy source, but the chaos energy was too unsafe to use. In order to find a capsule for the energy, the Dracons supposedly began spying on a number of planets, Mobius being one of them. The Dracon Empire observed the native echidnas for some time until they knew exactly what they wanted. A military squadron subsequently invaded Mobius and took control of the echidna's sacred emerald mines. By digging up and using these precious gems, the Dracons utilized their technology to transfer the chaos energy into the emeralds. For some reason, some of the 7 chaos emeralds began taking on different properties, warped by the unstable energy. The Master Emerald became the largest and most powerful of them all. This not only stabilized the energy, but gave them the means to control and use it. 2 days before the war began, Pachacamac, leader of the Megapolis tribe, managed to steal the sacred emeralds back from the Dracons, both to return them to their true home, and to prevent the Dracons from conquering the entire galaxy. Angered, the Dracons sent out a scout to examine the Echidna's defenses before sending out a full-scale invasion force to claim the emeralds. The Echidnas develop advanced technology, Guardian robots. The Guardian robots are left in the care of skilled pilots. This is where I would put the past segment of Sonic Adventure as told by Fleetway.
What's going on? Whoa!
Oh no.
Either the problem with my sight is worse than I thought, or I'm about to get trampled to death by a herd of animals that have become extinct thousands of years ago. You're coming with me. I have a couple of questions.
Don't say anything. Let me do the talking.
First, you teleport me into the middle of a stampede and almost get us both killed. And now you're giving me orders.
Being in the path of that stampede was an accident. I've never transported someone from the distant future before. You have to trust me.
Did you just say distant future?
Takal, what are you doing here? The hunting grounds are dangerous. Does your father know you're so far from the city?
I can't be sure with all the dust, but I could have sworn I just saw this hedgehog grab Takal and get her out of harm's way.
I'm not in the mood to explain anything right now, Knuckles.
Knuckles?
But I will allow you to escort us back to the city.
It is you! We were just talking 5 minutes ago, back at the base. How can you be here in the ancient past?
The hedgehog just spoke!
But that's impossible.
You think we have met before?
You don't know me?
Knuckles, come quickly! It's the intruders!
This is getting way too weird.
Stay here.
Come on!
Way ahead of you!
There's only one of them. This could be our chance.
Nobody move until I give the word.
Something's emerging.
Oh no, it's a Dracon prosecutor.
Attack!
Sonic has been transported back in time to Mobian prehistory. Back to the days when the planet was ruled by the Echidnas.
Be careful! I've met a Dracon prosecutor before. They're dangerous!
Knuckles knows what he's doing, Sonic.
And you still haven't explained why you brought me into the ancient past.
Be patient. I'll explain everything later. Or as much as I understand, anyway.
Stand back! I'll take care of this alien myself.
We'll be right behind you, Knuckles.
Let's see how tough you really are.
No! There's no point attacking his body! Looks like it's up to the cool blue hedgehog. As usual. Don't bother to get up, guys. This'll only take a minute. Like I was saying, if you want to take out a prosecutor, it's no use going for the body. Ah!
Nice going, Hedgehog. We're all really impressed.
You always did have a smart mouth, Knuckles.
What are you talking about? We've never met. I don't even know any talking hedgehogs.
Impossible! Nothing can move that fast.
Oh, we've met all right, but it's still in your future. But we'll get to that after I deal with the prosecutor. As I was saying, if you want to take down a prosecutor, you go for the head.
We wanted him alive, you idiot!
Yuck! That's disgusting.
You think that's disgusting?
You will all pay dearly.
Then what do you think of this?
I don't believe it. The prosecutor is just some kind of weird-looking fish.
That's about the size of it. Now, if somebody will just bring me a bucket of water, we can get out of here.
Thousands of years in the past, in the megapolis city capital of the Echidna Empire.
Release me, you primitives! This is an insult to the Dracon Empire!
Listen, fish breath. If I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a deep, fat fryer.
So you say you know me, thousands of years in the future. How can that be?
I can't tell you much, Knuckles. In the future, you have no memory of this past life. I guess you must have been in suspended animation or something.
You mean I end up sleeping for thousands of years?
I wish I could tell you more.
Sonic, my father would like to see you now.
Thousands of years ago, in Mobian prehistory, there was a great war. On one side, the Echidna race. On the other, the alien invaders known only as the Dracon Empire.
These missiles should convince those Echidna scum that we mean business. Now, take your sentinels, and don't return without the Chaos Emeralds.
This is Pachacamac, spiritual leader of the Echidnas. He's also my dad.
Hiya, how are you doing?
Not very well, Sonic. Not very well at all. Which is why we brought you here.
Yeah, I've been hoping we were going to get to that.
All of your questions will be answered, Sonic, I promise you. But first, I wanted to show you something. Something that 2 days ago we stole from the Dracon Empire.
The Chaos Emeralds! You stole them from the Dracons, eh? Boy, if you had any idea of how much trouble these things are going to cause in the future. Okay, Pachacamac, I've been real patient. But now, I want to know what's going on. Why have you brought me here into the ancient past? What do you want? Oh, boy, it's just one thing after another around here.
We're under attack! Tikal! Bring me the Dracon prisoner! Hurry!
Yes, Father.
Sorry, Sonic. It looks like explanations will have to wait.
No way! I've waited long enough. You're going to fill me in right now.
All right. I suppose you have the right to know what you're getting yourself into. The Dracon Empire arrived on Mobius several months ago. They must have been spying on us for quite some time, because they knew exactly what they had come for. They took control of our sacred emerald mines. The Dracon Empire had developed an unstable energy source. But this chaos energy was too unsafe to use. By using our sacred emeralds, the Dracon Empire discovered a way to control the chaos energy.
So you stole the emeralds containing the chaos energy?
It's not just that the emeralds are sacred to us, Sonic. If the Dracons siphon the chaos energy into 1,000 emeralds, they'll have enough power to conquer the galaxy.
That still doesn't explain why you brought me here.
My family is gifted with the power to see into the future, Sonic. I can sometimes make out misty visions of things yet to come. So I know that you are the great champion of the future. A great warrior who is the sworn enemy of the Dracon Empire. You are filled with the power of the Chaos Emeralds. Your eyes glow with their energy. That is how we were able to find you.
Now just hold on a second.
Fools! The hedgehog will not be able to save you. Nobody can stand in the way of the mighty Dracon Empire.
Listen to me, Prosecutor. I want you to take a message to your people. If our two sides could meet peacefully to discuss...
The Dracon Empire does not discuss. The Dracon Empire conquers.
You creeps turned up at just the right time. All this talking is driving me crazy. I'm in the mood for a good fight.
Intruders in the command room! We need backup immediately!
Guardian robots! Never realised you guys were so advanced this far back in the past.
Oh, we're full of surprises!
Yeah? Well, I've had enough surprises for one day.
No matter how fast you are, you can't dodge my blasts forever.
Sure. I've heard it all before. Uh-oh! You've hit the emeralds!
No! I didn't mean to!
Everybody, get out of here! We're in big trouble!
Wait! What about me? You can't just leave me here!
It is an honor to die for the Dracon Empire. Farewell, comrade.
I don't believe it! It's chaos!
Power! Limitless power!
It's thousands of years in the past, and the legendary war between the Echidnas and the Dracon Empire is just beginning.
Power! I have all the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
I can't believe it! It's that same chaos creature! The one that killed...
You've met this creature before? But how can that be? For you, this is the ancient past.
Beats me. All I know is we're all in big trouble.
Come on! This is our chance to drive these Dracons out of the city!
Haha, we're with you, Knuckles.
This is how the Great War starts, isn't it? I have just glimpsed the future, but you come from it. Tell me, Sonic, what becomes of the Echidna race?
How can I tell her that the only echidnas that still exist in my time are Knuckles and some creep called Zachary?
History was never my subject, Tikal, but I'll tell you what I can. Later.
I don't understand this. I've never felt fear like this before.
Take it easy, Knuckles. It's not your fault. It's just some screwy power Chaos has. He generates fear in some way. Got to fight it! In the future, you kill one of my best friends. If I destroy you now, maybe I can change all that. Yeah!
You cannot hurt me.
Father, we've got to do something.
What? The hedgehog just vanished.
I sent him back to his own time, Chaos. I only hope I wasn't too late.
Too late. In another moment, Sonic will be destroyed. No, something's wrong. I suddenly feel weak.
I used the power of the Chaos Emeralds to send him back. It drained you of a great deal of their power. Quickly, Knuckles. This could be our only chance.
We did it, Pachacamac! We drove the Dracon invaders out of the city!
Only for the time being, Knuckles.
I hope Sonic's okay. Sending him back to his own time like that was pretty risky.
It was his only chance, Tikal. Another moment and Chaos would have destroyed him.
It's hard to believe that I also exist far in the future. I wonder how that happened.
Everything will become clear in time, Knuckles. But for now, we are at war. A war that will decide the fate of the entire Echidna race.
Things got progressively worse for the Echidnas. To keep chaos at bay, Tikal was sacrificed. Sealing her spirit with the fearsome beast. The new Guardian robots, the Gizoids, designed to copy their enemies, helped defeat Chaos, but they went berserk, turning on the Echidnas. With the Echidnas' numbers dwindling, Pachacamac saw that the Echidnas were losing the war, so he decided that the Echidnas needed a guardian that would protect the emeralds forever. In order to make Knuckles an eternal guardian, Pachacamac made a deal with Vachama, the god of death. In exchange for Vachama helping create the Guardian Emerald, Pachacamac gave Vachama passage to the mortal plane. This means that while Vachama remained, Knuckles would be continuously resurrected, and the Chaos Emeralds would always be guarded. Unfortunately, Vachama went on to slaughter thousands of Echidnas. Knock it off! Instead of banishing him and losing Knuckles' immortality, Pachacamac imprisoned Vachama's spirit inside an Echidna corpse, and then sealed that corpse in suspended animation. Vachama's great temple was torn down, and the Temple of Tikal is placed over it. This is where I would place the past of prehistoric Sonic. Robotnik, Scratch, and Grounder find the volcano where the Chaos Emerald of Life emerged from. Sonic and Tails follow them, not far behind. Scratch and Grounder are attacked by a pack of cave bears. Dr. Robotnik uses his robot transmogrifier array on a T-Rex to take care of the primitive fuzzies. Sonic and Tails come to their aid, but that just makes Robotnik sick the T-Rex on them instead. Sonic gets on the T-Rex's back and rides it like a horse. He uses the dinosaur to chase Robotnik, Scratch, and Grounder, but they escape by zapping a pterodactyl with a roboticizer ray and flying it back to the volcano. Robotnik finds the emerald, but it is stuck in the rock. Magma, the volcano god, emerges from the lava, and Robotnik must make a sacrifice to him before he can have the emerald. Robotnik sacrifices Scratch and Grounder just as Sonic and the Cave Bears arrive to stop him. Robotnik obtains the emerald and commands the lava to come to life and form into lava monsters. Robotnik ties Tails' tails together so he can't fly. The lava monsters catch Sonic, Tails, and the Cave Bears and throw them all into the lava. Sonic does a spin around the walls of the volcano and rescues Tails and the Cave Bears. Scratch and Grounder crawl out of the lava and reveal it is really only volcanic mud. Robotnik picks up the two badniks and the pterodactyl, and they fly away with the Chaos Emerald. Much of the Babylonians' history is shrouded in mystery, and their original home is unknown. A highly advanced civilization in terms of technology, the Babylonians traveled through space in an ancient spaceship known as the Babylon Garden, which was powered by the arcs of the cosmos, devices that harness the power of gravity. When they passed by Mobius in the ancient past, a malfunction caused the Babylonians' inability to control the arcs of the cosmos, threatened to make their ship's engine core create a black hole. Reaching a decision, the Babylonians condemned themselves by disconnecting the arcs of the cosmos from their ship and sending them into Mobius's orbit, while the Babylon Garden crash-landed on Mobius. There, the Babylonians could only wait for the arcs of the cosmos to resurface, as they had hoped that they could use them to return to their home planet. As such, whenever they saw a shooting star, they would wish to go back home in hopes that it was an arc of the cosmos landing on Mobius. It is speculated that the tradition of wishing upon a star may have originated from the grounded Babylonians yearning to return to space to get back to their home world. Starting a new life on Mobius, the Babylonians settled down on their still-floating Babylon Garden and built an island for themselves around its substructure, Astral Babylon. Over time, the Babylonians built up a reputation as a legendary band of great thieves and robbers known as the Babylon Rogues, who would roam the world, stealing treasure and loot alike. According to the stories, the Babylonians gave a boy an angel wing made from their advanced technology as a gift at one point, which the stories said allowed the boy to rule the world. I wonder who it was. Oh, sorry. Very little is known about Stolen's past. It is known that he lived during the period of ancient times where the Babylonians were still flourishing on Mobius and living on Babylon Garden. Given his title, it is possible that he was one of the early descendants of the ancient Babylonians. Having ascended to leadership of the Babylon Rogues, Stolen was a member of a society of thieves who traveled the world seeking treasures to steal. When the Babylonians invented their earliest form of extreme gear, a magic carpet, Stolen viewed it as their ultimate invention, believing it would make their lives as thieves much easier. When the magic carpet was put away inside Babylon Garden to be protected by the Babylon Guardian, Stolen left a note with it, stating his thoughts on their creation. Over time, Babylonians recovered 2 of the Arks of the Cosmos that fell from orbit. To keep them safe and their dangerous power out of reach, the Babylonians sealed one of the Arks of the Cosmos in the Gigan Rocks, and the other in the Crimson Crater until it was safe to relaunch the Babylon Garden. According to legend, though, the Babylonians eventually incurred the wrath of the gods because of their crimes, and the Babylon Garden was buried in the sands near the sand ruins, while the Babylonians were supposedly scattered for all time. While the Babylonians seemingly lived on by breeding with the inhabitants of Mobius, they and their history slowly faded and would become legends. In addition, their descendants would forget all about their alien origins and achievements, leaving nothing behind but misunderstood legends about the Babylon Garden's treasures and their scattered relics. Those descendants that remembered or otherwise learned about their heritage believed that their ancestors were genies and not necessarily aliens. Many of the technological achievements of the Babylonians were also forgotten, and the knowledge of the Arks of the Cosmos ended up as stories spoken of in the legends of the Babylon clan. The ancients used to live on a planet far from Mobius, with 5 ancient tribes. One day, a mysterious entity known as the End attacked the ancients and their planet, eradicating the other 4 tribes in the process. In an attempt to escape, the survivors of the most intelligent tribe built machines called Chaos Engines that harnessed the power of Chaos Emeralds in order to power their spaceships and escape impending doom. Once they were successful, they mounted their spaceships and narrowly escaped while witnessing the destruction of their home planet and mourning the other 4 tribes. During their travels across space, the Chaos Emeralds that powered their ships started reacting to the Master Emerald on planet Mobius. As a result, the ancients lost control of their navigation on their ships, and the emeralds drew them toward the planet. The sky turned green, and the green-colored Chaos Emeralds rained down on the planet. This resulted in bizarre weather changes, which wiped out the Mobisaurs. However, 3 Mobisaurs, later known as the Ancient Walkers, survived. Originally a trio of Mobisaurs, a pterodactyl, and 2 earthbound species, the Ancient Walkers were alive in the time of the coming of the Chaos Emeralds, where they discovered and began tapping into the power of the Chaos Emeralds. At some point, they reached a state of higher being through a connection to the Chaos Force, which led them to becoming the defenders of Mobius. During this period, they predicted the rise of 3 heroes, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. The latter 2, also known as the Chosen One and the Avatar, who would bring harmony to Mobius through a variety of means. In his early life, Magul was a primitive Mobian mammoth, dwelling among the other prehistoric Mobians around the early days of Fury following the coming of the Chaos Emeralds. However, his life was permanently changed when he discovered a Chaos Emerald, which somehow became embedded in his chest. With his newfound powers, he decided to take over the planet. Magul's rule over Mobius was short-lived, however, as his cruel leadership sparked rebellion and eventually he was overthrown by other species of Mobians. Additionally, having witnessed his abuse of power, the Ancient Walkers placed a curse on his Chaos Emerald to doom his future plans to failure, unbeknownst to Magul. Magul then decided to learn about the secrets of the strange gem that had given him his power. This is where I would place Defeat the Dark Emperor, the first of what I believe to be 2 manga stories in this video. This being said, I wanted to bring one thing to your attention before we dive right in. I am in no way fluent in Japanese. The amount of words I know in Japanese could probably be counted on one hand. This was my best attempt at trying to translate it, using what I had available. "5,000 years ago, there was a man called the Sorcerer Robugnik. He was the Dark Emperor in the Hedgehog Kingdom.
Bring me more sake!
Oh!
You fool! Watch where you are pouring that drink. My head's going to get drunk.
I'm sorry.
I'll punish you. Stay right there.
I'm sorry.
Your Majesty, please wait. I beg you, please, forgive my daughter.
So, if I forgive her, you'll take her place instead. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right.
Umbara! Donbara!
My father has been turned into stone!
See, this is what happens to anyone who opposes me!
What's wrong? Why are you crying? Huh? Oh, you must be Prince Nicky of the royal family.
Yeah, that's right. No need for the details.
It's my father. He's been turned to stone.
That's terrible! I'll avenge him for you!
Our enemy is the Dark Emperor Robugnik.
Here I come! I just remembered I have something to do. So, excuse me.
Ouch! Prince, please go and get him!
Yes, I'll do it.
Look at this, everyone! If you try to resist me, I'll turn you into stones.
Prince, hurry and save everyone!
Yeah.
Come on, hurry up!
Oof! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Huh? Who's this guy?
Wah! Ow! Wah!
Yappo!
Who are you?
Why, I'm a god, don't you know?
The opponent is way too strong.
You fool! Listen, Nicky. What you are missing now is only courage. If you can show courage, I'll definitely give you power. Once again, show courage and help everyone.
God.
Your eyes are open!
Wait! Robugnik, give everyone back!
Huh?
If not, I, the Prince of the Hedgehog Kingdom, won't forgive you.
A prince, huh? So there's still someone like that around.
Umbara! I'll dump you into the swamp, just like this. This will be the end of the pathetic royal family. Ha 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 ha! Moo ha 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 ha!
happening.
That feeling becomes your strength.
Huh?
And it's an amazing power!
What?
Whoa! Something just popped out!
Humph. My body is overflowing with power, and now I feel so refreshed.
What the? You suddenly popped out like that? You have no sense of timing, do you?
Turn to stone!
That's your plan, Robugnik? I won't turn to stone at all.
Umbara! Donbara!
You're wasting your time. Now I'll show you my technique. Spin dash!
Looks like he's the real Naked King.
Ika!
Don't think this is over, hedgehog. I'll sell my soul to the devil to get my revenge. Damn it!
This is the birth of Super Robugnik. I've been reborn, completely changed. I'm coming for you, hedgehog! Yahoo!
Thanks to you, Sonic, everything is back to normal. Here is my thank you gift. Mwah.
Ah! Hey, Amy! Robugnik!
Sonic, if you think my power is the same as it was, you're sorely mistaken. Umbara! As expected, Sonic. You weren't turned completely to stone with just one shot.
My arm!
But this next attack will be the last. Umbara! Still that lively, huh? But there's no way you'll escape me.
That fool! He went right into that cave!
Now then, you've reached the end of the line. Prepare to die, hedgehog. Umbara! The light beam! It came back at me! Ah! What? Why? Why was my own curse turned against me?
It seems like you didn't know about this cave, Robugnik. This cave is known as the Cave of Judgment. Anyone who tries to do evil deeds in here has it all reflected back at them. I doubt that we'll ever see each other ever again. Goodbye, Robugnik.
Just you wait, Sonic. Even if it takes thousands of years, I'll come back and get you.
Sonic the Hedgehog, to honor your courage, I shall grant you eternal life. Whenever evil appears in the world, you shall be reborn within the soul of a brave young boy, and together you will rise again to vanquish that evil.
The ancients landed on the Starfall Islands and started rebuilding their civilization from there. Among their creations, there were altars that harnessed the power of the Chaos Emeralds, the cyberspace which stored all of the ancients' hopes, dreams, memories, and data that could be accessed through portals they created. They also created weaponry, towers, and an army of robots in order to defend themselves in case the End was able to find them on Mobius. Once the End arrived upon Mobius and attacked the islands, it killed many ancients, despite their best attempts to fight back. While the ancients powered up their most powerful robots known as Titans, which were based on the 4 tribes that perished to honor and avenge their fallen comrades, using the energy of the Chaos Emeralds, a plan was made that would consist of a small group of ancients taking the emeralds away from the Starfall Islands to the location of the Master Emerald. 4 of the ancients, Dragon, Snake, Tiger, piloted the Titans Giganto, Wyvern, and Knight fought the End in space, but it proved far too powerful to defeat. Frame, the ancient piloting the Titan known as Supreme, came up with the plan of binding their Titan with the End and tell the other 3 pilots to seal them in cyberspace. However, the process of binding the Titan with the End caused their death. The ancients carried out their backup plan, and a small group fled toward the land that would later become known as Angel Island. Any other remaining ancients that survived on the island were presumably dead, as their spirits were stored in good luck charms that later became the Coco, which inhabit the Starfall Islands. Not much is known about the ancients that fled to the Master Emerald, though it is suggested that the Master Emerald may have devolved them into Chao, making them related to Chaos. Of the various Mobian races emerging, the Echidnas were the fastest to develop, learn, and adapt, following the extinction of the Mobosaurs. Realizing this, the Echidnas came together and isolated themselves from the rest of the planet's population. They soon established the city of Albion, off the coast of Mercia, where their development grew at an unparalleled rate. 2 of the city's inhabitants took on an enduring role of the history of their people. The Chaos Force researcher, Aurora La, and the original Interjet. They progressed in their work to the point where they attracted the attention of the ancient walkers, and were allowed to ascend into the Chaos Force to gain greater knowledge. However, Interjet became corrupted during his transcendence and turned against Aurora and the walkers. He was too powerful to be destroyed, so they scattered him throughout the Chaos Force. His dark spirit lingered on, destined to eternally manifest through future Echidnas. Later, Aurora La took on the name Aurora and penned the 3 tomes and worked to spread enlightenment to the world. After roughly 200 years had passed since his dethroning, Magul was able to learn the fundamentals of the powers provided by the Chaos Emerald within him. His magical abilities inspired others to join him, who eventually learned the Ixis magics from Magul himself. With a new group of followers, including the 4 elite, among which was Ixis Vale, Magul formed the Order of Ixis, and would attempt to retake his place as ruler of Mobius. Magul formed the Order of Ixis, and would attempt to retake his place as ruler of Mobius. Unlike the other Mobian species on the planet, the Echidnas were developing at an exponential rate. Having settled into their colony of Albion, the Echidnas quickly developed new sciences, technologies, and weapons. By the time of the Forgotten War, the Echidnas had developed firearms. The Templar Knights of Aurora was the military force of Echidnas from Albion some years ago, named after their society's deity, Aurora. They were the only force on Mobius, which was technically advanced enough to counter the early rise of Mammoth Magul and his Order of Ixis during the latter's bid for world domination. As the Order of Ixis attempted to dominate the planet, the far more technically advanced Echidnas of Albion opposed the rule, beginning the Forgotten War. Initially, the Albion Knights were losing the war due to the Order's superior strategies. They countered this by abandoning their valor in exchange for better results in the war, by committing crimes against nature and desecrating the safety of innocent bystanders. During ancient times, a group of Echidnas from Albion arrived in Down Under during the Forgotten War with the mission to develop means that the Albion Knights of Aurora could use to fight the Order of Ixis. Proving to be corrupt, they instead used genetic engineering to transform a tribe of Tasmanian devil Mobians into less intelligent, vicious dogs, which they used as beasts of burdens and for guards. These Echidnas were subsequently punished for their crimes, but the damage had been done, and the race ever after recited to the story of the Echidna crimes to their children, so-called Devil Dog. Mobini versions of these species became more and more prevalent as the generations passed, whilst the former Mobian version all but disappeared. Thousands of years ago, the Forgotten Wars. Ixis Magul, Lord of the Order of Ixis.
Pah! Weak-minded short-sighted Templar Knight. Not only is their resistance futile, but the battles will ravage all Mobius. Perhaps I can conjure a way to mend their wills to my own.
Ixis Vale, one of Magul's 4 elite.
My lord, I bring news from the fronts around the world. All of it is troubling.
Go on.
There are reports of crimes against nature by the Albionites. On every front, they seem to be abandoning valor in favor of results to combating our cunning.
I'm not surprised. We are the Order of Ixis. One cannot simply overcome our power by playing fair, even if they were to slaughter us down to our last wizard.
The most powerful threat, however, came in the form of the Second Enerjack, whose power and uncontrollable nature were such that both sides had to call a temporary truce and defeat the common enemy. After this, the Knights managed to gain the upper hand, and by the end of the conflict, they came out triumphant, obliterating all but a few members of the Order of Ixis and its leader. This set back Magul's plans for domination for several millennia, and allowed the other societies on Mobius to flourish and develop freely. In ancient times, the land was inhabited by the dragon race. They were a young race, and they misused their immense power. They viciously fought each other until the land itself was burned and ruined. When they eventually became aware of the destruction they'd caused, they ceased fighting and decided to resettle throughout the world. Before leaving, they left behind a prophecy stating that when the land was once again in turmoil, it would be reunited by the Golden Lotus King. As such, several shrines, each known as the Temple of the Golden Lotus, were built throughout the land of anticipation for the legend. The temples served to help the Dragon Kingdom's citizens find peace as they looked forward to the arrival of the prophesied king. Robotnik arrives in ancient Moby-Egypt. They see Sonic's ancestor, Masonic the Hedgehog. They plan on keeping him from meeting Penelope, so that they never have children, and generations later Sonic will never be born. Penelope runs a local chili dog stand, so Masonic is on his way over to her for a bite to eat. Masonic is intercepted by Scratch, who is dressed like a woman and tries to seduce him. Really? Not interested at all, Masonic tries to get away from him, but Grounder pulls out a laser and they capture Masonic. Sonic and Tails arrive in Mobiegypt and see Scratch and Grounder taking Masonic hostage. Sonic flies the Time Warp Boogie Board into them, sending Grounder into a camel pen and Robotnik into a large pile of camel dung. To celebrate their victory, Sonic and Tails go to buy chili dogs from Penelope. They arrive just before Masonic, who waits in line behind them. Penelope takes a long time preparing the chili dogs. Sonic gets impatient, but Masonic gets even more impatient and leaves. Sonic and Tails realize they were now responsible for Masonic and Penelope not meeting, and Sonic disappears from existence. Robotnik sees Sonic fade away and leaves to find the Chaos Emerald of Immortality, without his plans getting foiled. Tails finds Masonic and launches him at Penelope, where they instantly fall in love and Sonic then comes back to life. Robotnik has the Pharaoh of Mobiegypt tied up, trying to force him to say where the Chaos Emerald is hidden. Since the Pharaoh won't tell him, Robotnik makes himself Pharaoh and plans to force the people to make pyramids of him until someone tells him where the Chaos Emerald is. Sonic and Tails rush to stop him, but they are quickly chained up and taken away by Robotnik's new Mobiegyptian guards. Scratch and Grounder read hieroglyphics on the wall to find out where the Chaos Emerald is hidden in the pyramid of Robotnikotep, Robotnik's own ancestor. Penelope spies on them from nearby. Sonic, Tails, and Masonic are performing slave labor, building a pyramid with giant blocks. Penelope comes to them and tells them Robotnik knows where the Chaos Emerald is. Sonic draws a picture of himself in chains on a block and explains that when Professor K-9 sees it in the future, he will send a saw. As Sonic says it, the saw appears in front of him. Sonic uses the saw to cut himself, Tails, and Masonic free. They find a carriage with a horse, but they leave the horse and Sonic pulls his friends in the carriage. Sonic, Tails, Masonic, and Penelope make it to the pyramid, which Masonic knows well because his grandfather built it. Masonic leads them in and guides them around the many traps. Robotnik, Scratch, and Grounder find a long shaft which leads to the burial chamber. The door says one must fall down and grab enough gold rings for the entrance at the bottom of the shaft to open. Robotnik throws Scratch and Grounder down, and they begin grabbing rings. They are one ring short, and they hit spikes at the bottom. Robotnik grabs one ring and hops down the burial chamber. Sonic and friends come in after them. The mummy of Robotnik wakes up and is wearing the Chaos Emerald of Immortality. Sonic tries to attack him, but can't hurt him. A mummified hedgehog comes out of the coffin and starts pestering Robotnik. Dr. Robotnik grabs the Chaos Emerald from Robotnik, who is glad to be mortal again, as to not have to deal with the hedgehog mummy for the rest of eternity. Robotnik disintegrates into dust. Robotnik becomes invincible, and Sonic's attacks do nothing. The mummy hedgehog gives Sonic his necklace with another emerald, which gives him a blue energy shield that can protect him from Robotnik's immortality. Sonic defeats Robotnik, takes his Chaos Emerald, and returns the other emerald to the mummy hedgehog. Outside the pyramid, Sonic and Tails have Robotnik, Scratch, and Grounder mummified, and they transport them away in their own time machine. The Pharaoh marries Masonic and Penelope. Sonic and Tails say goodbye and take off on their board. But before leaving Mobijet, Sonic sculpts a Robotnik Sphinx to look like both himself and Tails. Hundreds of years after the Forgotten War, a group of echidnas left Albion to create a colony and spread echidna culture. Settling in Salmersha, they encountered the hostile native Felidae warriors. Most of the colonists chose to leave and settle elsewhere. Two castes remained behind to fight over the land. The Knuckles clan, while the other group, who were more advanced in science, became the Nocturnus clan. Led by a woman who was part of the tribe's moderate party, she led the people as they lived in harmony with the mountains, jungles, and housed many other nearby people. Trying to teach her son the way she lived, Pachacamac grew with discontent, feeling that the tribe that he was one day set to rule over had a far greater destiny than the simple existence that they had. Once he had become of age and become the leader of the tribe, he set his sights beyond the walls of the city, wanting nothing more than to establish his dominance on the planet, with the Knuckles clan not only ruling themselves, but many other tribes that lived nearby. His mother, against her son's intentions, stood in his way at every opportunity. Before the death of his mother, Pachacamac had fathered a daughter named Tikal, who immediately gravitated towards the old woman, captivated by her peaceful nature and soaking up the many stories she would tell. There was one story that would stick out in her mind, connected to a mysterious altar that lay outside the city's walls, an extremely holy place that no one dared to desecrate. This altar was 7 visible gemstones perched atop of 7 equidistant pillars, guarded a secret that no one knew, as no one had ever dared to go up to the steps and see inside. Treating it as holy ground, the people of the city often celebrated its power, placing it as the reason why they were prosperous. However, it was only a matter of time before age would play a factor, the kind woman finally succumbing to Mother Nature and passing away. With the death of his mother, Pachacamac finally saw his opportunity, gathering together the tribesmen he saw had the greatest potential. Quickly, he transformed them into a fighting force, and gathering his army, the tribe leader began his assault on the neighboring countries. With each fight came victory, and soon every tribe and country was under his control, the Knuckles clan being a force no one could counter. Their leaders, Pachacamac of the Knuckles clan, and Imperator X of the Nocturnus initially cooperated, but Pachacamac eventually chose to wage war against the Nocturnus clan, as well as with the Fiddidae. A three-way war then erupted between the three groups, with the Knuckles clan focused on warfare, while Ix and his clan continued to make great strides in their technological prowess. Their power grew to such a point where they could have easily crushed the Knuckles clan with little effort, but the Nocturnus clan were mysteriously teleported to the Twilight Cage during the Argus event by unknown means before they could do so. Knowing that the 7 emeralds at the altar held incredible power, but not knowing much else, Pachacamac soon began to contemplate an action that was completely against the very nature of the tribe, to take hold of the 7 emeralds and not use them only to secure the power that he already gained, but to expand his empire further, wanting nothing more than to rule the planet. His daughter, distressed by her father's desire to conquer other people's holy ground, immediately took a stance against him, telling him time and again that he should stop his quest. Her words, however, fell on deaf ears each time. As her father began to prepare and seize the emeralds, Tikal decided to go to the holy place herself, approaching the altar and looking upon it. It was at this moment where she first met the Chow, a race of water spirits that had resided at the altar, and the force that prevented Pachacamac from immediately storming the ground for the power that he was seeking. Approaching the creatures carefully, Tikal comforted them, telling the beings that they had nothing to fear from her. Only after befriending the Chow did Tikal look upon the face of the being that was a true guardian of the altar, and the Chow that lived there, Chaos, though at the time he was only known as the Spirit of Water. Chaos confronted Tikal, examining and making sure her intentions at the altar were pure of heart. Only then did the spirit permit the girl to walk up the steps that few had tread upon. At the center of the altar was the Master Emerald, the controller of the 7 emeralds, and the key that explained the poem that her grandmother had made her remember by heart. The servers are the 7 Chaos. Chaos's power, enriched by the heart. The controller serves to unify the chaos. Realizing not only that her father would be desecrating the sacred ground, but also would try to harness the power he could not control, Tikal approached her father, trying desperately to dissuade him from going after the emeralds. Each time she spoke, her father returned only ignorance. The young girl instead, asking Chaos if he would take the emeralds and the Chow with him and escape to a safer place, out of the hands of her father, and the greed that was consuming him. With only the sound of water, Tikal realized that this was not an option, and that the stand between the two sides was inevitable. In one last desperate bid to stop her father, Tikal stood at the foot of the altar, blocking Pachacamac and the warrior's path to the emeralds. Trying to reason with him, he ignored her one final time, telling his troops to charge ahead, attacking his own daughter in the process. Becoming unconscious, Tikal was not able to bear witness as her father ran up the stairs he was never meant to cross, seeing with his own eyes the Master Emerald and the creature that would be Chaos. Once she came to, Tikal could find no trace of her father or the warriors, the emeralds that were once on the pillars, missing. Running to the center, it was then she learned the terrible truth about Chaos. In his attempt to stop Pachacamac and protect the Chow, used the power of the emeralds to transform into something else entirely, a creature of vast, uncontrollable power that could destroy the world. Remembering the words of the poem, Tikal asked for the Master Emerald's help to stop Chaos before he wiped out every living creature in his rage. The Emerald obeyed, sealing not only Chaos inside its shell, but the spirit of Tikal, to guard over the creature if he ever were to escape. Though the 7 Chaos Emeralds had disappeared, the broken remnants of the Knuckles tribe took it upon themselves to guard over the Master Emerald, leaving behind murals and inscriptions in their temple as warnings to future generations. Over 2,000 years ago, Black Doom created the Black Arms Legion. As their home, the Black Comet, passed by Mobius, Black Doom observed the humans and grew disgusted by their pettiness and greed. He hoped to land the Black Comet on Mobius' surface and enact a prosperity ritual to enslave the population as an energy source for his armies. However, he found it impossible to land the Black Comet, delaying his plans indefinitely because Black Doom could not control the Black Comet's trajectory. However, Black Doom did succeed in transporting a number of bird-shaped flying temples to certain locations around Mobius for a future invasion. This story is from 1,000 years ago, when the castle was still in its prime. With the powers of black magic, Count Robotnik now possesses powers greater than that of the king, and has proposed marriage to Princess Emmy many times. But his request has not been accepted. Finally, one winter morning, he tamed a large vulture and went to go steal the princess.
Emmy, come on, let's dance together.
Princess Emmy is completely disgusted at Count Robotnik's close contact with her.
If you refuse to marry me, your country will be destroyed.
Count Robotnik threatens the princess. In the pouring rain, a ruffian named Anton arrives at the king's castle disguised as a wizard.
I know where the princess is. I'll tell you if you give me 100 gold coins.
Anton, who has managed to get the gold coins, replied,
She belongs to Count Robotnik. I don't think he'll give her back, though.
What you want is at the moat. If you want her back, then come and get her.
Count Robotnik makes fun of the king.
This is what happened, Night Nicky. If you can get the princess back, I'll allow you to marry her.
Anton must know the secret.
Night Nicky went to go meet Anton.
How did you know that the princess had been captured by Robotnik?
You idiot! Why do I have to tell you?
If you don't tell me, you'll have to tell...
me!
Sonic appeared in the place of Nicky. He defeated Anton with one hit.
I'll tell you! The princess is trapped in a corpse robot in the Valley of Death.
Anton said.
Robotnik is there as well.
It is said that nobody has returned from the Valley of the Dead alive. Well, yeah, no duh, then it wouldn't be called the Valley of the Dead. Tails, the little fox, ignored Night Nicky's warning to
never follow me,
and followed him instead.
Destroy the corpse robot!
Nicky and Tails drew their swords and leapt forward, only to be defeated by Robotnik, who was hiding in the shadows.
Damn it! I've got to save the princess!
Screamed Nicky as he was trampled by Robotnik and lost consciousness. And then Sonic appears. He is a superhero who only appears when Nicky's heart and God-type heart connect. He then defeats Robotnik and rescues Princess Emmy. Dr. Robotnik, Scratch, and Grounder arrive in their time machine at the location of the second Chaos Emerald, medieval Mobius. Robotnik finds the lair of Merlynx, the magician. Merlynx is experimenting with potions when Robotnik kindly asks him for the Chaos Emerald of Invincibility. Merlynx refuses, but after a simple threat from Robotnik, he gives it to him. Robotnik holds the emerald and declares he is invincible. Scratch and Grounder shoot him with lasers to test it out, and Robotnik gets fried. Merlynx explains that in order for it to work, he'll have to become king of the Hound Table. Sonic and Tails then arrive at the castle of King Arthur, where they meet Princess Gwendolyn, who has a stuttering problem. King Arthur tells them that his knights are currently getting clobbered by the evil, bloated knight. Sonic and Tails peek out the window and recognize that the bloated knight is Robotnik. The princess informs them of a legend which states that a holy hedgehog would rescue them. Robotnik defeats all the knights of the Hound Table and storms the castle. He sees Sonic and freaks out. Sonic and Tails protect the castle from Robotnik, Scratch, and Grounder. Eventually, Robotnik makes Merlynx cast a spell to turn Sonic's feet into solid rocks. Robotnik gets King Arthur's crown and activates the Chaos Emerald, which makes him invincible and very buff. He places Sonic and Tails in the dungeon. Princess Gwendolyn brings them chili dogs with files hidden inside and tells them to find Merlinks. Okay, can I just take a moment to say, if Robotnik already had Merlinks with him, wouldn't it make more sense for him to keep Merlinks with him, given their track record? You're questioning the logic of a cartoon, Sonic Man. Don't overthink this. Sorry. Sonic and Tails escape very slowly and make their way to Merlinks' lair. Robotnik sends Scratch and Grounder after them, but Sonic uses his stone feet to stop them. Merlinks turns Sonic's feet back to normal. Sonic comes up with a clever plan to ambush Robotnik and get the Invincible Emerald. Sonic and Tails lure Robotnik into the courtyard by sending a note that says Sonic, the Holy Hedgehog, challenges him to a joust, which is actually a trap for Robotnik and the perfect way to ambush him. Tails catches the helmet and obtains the emerald, then puts the helmet back on Robotnik, making him think that he's invincible again. Cartoon, Sonic Man. Cartoon. Sonic beats up Robotnik and cuts off his armor, leaving him in his underwear. Tails uses the emerald to become invincible, and he beats up Scratch and Grounder. Robotnik grabs Merlinks' wand and turns some of the villagers into knights, which Sonic defeats quickly. You see, right there! It would have been more beneficial to have Merlinks with Robotnik this whole time. Sorry. Sonic then knocks Robotnik into the moat with an alligator. Later, King Arthur knights Sonic, calling him Sir Sonic the Speedy. King Arthur now has the Chaos Emerald and is invincible. This is where I would put the past segment to Bravehog. As for you... Come here! Give me that phone!
They're coming! They're coming!
Who's coming, laddie? Speak up.
Not my in-laws, I hope.
It's them, the hyenas!
I love my job! Yeah!
No! How can they do such evil?
Hey, so long as they feed me oats, I don't ask.
Good news, sire. Another village has been burned to cinders.
That's made my day! It is too easy conquering these smaller tribes. They just don't stand a chance.
I hear the badgers have been conquered.
Huh! Serves them right. They're so primitive, and their claws are filthy from all the digging they do.
Hyenas! Looks like it's our turn now!
They can't do this to us! We're stags!
Whole tribes are falling because they won't fight together. We must unite against this barbarity.
Why? They won't help us when the hyenas attack.
Then we must set an example.
Sorry, Bravehog, but it's every hedgehog for himself.
I wouldn't risk my neck, even if I had one.
Hear this! From now on, it is a punishable offense for cats to meow, for birds to fly, and for dogs to lift their leg. Hee.
Why?
My lord, that dog just defied you. I saw him.
What?
Just for that, I'll take out your cousins, the Fox tribe, next. Take him away.
We've had it!
Laugh that off.
A hedgehog helping us.
Listen, we can stand against these creeps if we work together.
But you're from a different community. We can't. We'd like to help, but...
Hey! Bravehog is our prisoner!
You foolish hedgehog! Your spines will be shaven off for your disobedience as proof of my power over this land.
What kind of power do you abuse when you order a dozen hyenas to capture one hedgehog?
Bravehog is right. This is the work of bullies.
Maybe we should join forces to fight them.
Aye, let's wipe the smiles off their faces.
Attack!
You're free, Bravehog.
We're all free now, friend. Clear off!
As the various species on Mobius began to develop following the devastation of the planet caused by the Zorda's destructive attack, a Mobian named Alexander Acorn noticed that the various species had particular skills and unique abilities. He decided that if the various Mobian species were to work together, substantial progress could be made. Alexander had hoped to include the echidnas in his community, but they chose to isolate themselves and form their own colonies, as they had not only developed at a far greater rate, but felt that the knowledge that they could provide might be more harmful to Alexander's community rather than to benefit it. Additionally, Alexander attempted to appeal to the Overlanders, but their aggressive tendencies proved them incompatible with the Mobians. However, the various other Mobian species which did ally under his banner formed the first multicultural city on Mobius, Mobitropolis. It was first created after Alexander Acorn decided that the people could benefit from the combined efforts of a variety of different species. After its completion, the citizens made Alexander their king, as he was ultimately responsible for their communion and their city's construction. The Overlanders made their cities in the Overland, tearing away at its resources as their civilization developed. Eventually, they made contact with their distant cousins, the humans, many of whose ancestors survived the Zorda attack. The two groups, sensing a kinship with each other, initiated a heritage project as an effort to develop closer ties. After years of development, Echidnaopolis was one of the most advanced cities on the planet. The city's gleaming spires rose high into the sky, though the land itself did not. While two of the city's top scientists, Jordan and Kayla La, were observing and charting the stars.
2 more degrees, and we'll have charted the entire Alpha Quadrant.
All these years to learn space is a whole lot of nothing. Wish we'd discovered something spectacular.
Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Or even worse, it might get us.
They discovered a massive comet on a collision course with Echidnaopolis.
Citizens, members of the scientific elite. According to our calculations, Echidnaopolis is doomed. Within a month, possibly only a week, this great white comet will come crashing down upon us.
It's the end of the world!
The sky is falling!
Can anything be done?
Perhaps. I have a daring plan.
Upon confronted with Kilala's solution to the problem, a holy man objected in front of one and all.
Echidnas were not meant to soar in the clouds, but to harvest the land here in Down Under.
There was a debate, which resulted in the High Council agreeing to Kilala's recommendation.
Though it saddens me greatly, I cannot support Arrakis in this matter.
That makes it unanimous then.
Since Arrakis would not accept no for an answer, he made a counter-proposal.
Allow those who wish to follow me of their own free will, and I will make no effort to stand in your way.
The High Council did more than just agreed. They gave the populace every opportunity to decide for themselves which path to follow.
Though we believe our course the right one, anyone who wishing to go with Arrakis is free to do so.
Since time was fast becoming a precious commodity, those who felt the same as Arrakis set off in search of a new home. Like lemmings, the populace filed out of the city, intent not on evacuation, but excavation. Together they scoured the countryside in search of the rarest of all commodities, Chaos Emeralds. As they worked, the threat loomed large over the head of each and every echidna, both the tall and the small. Time grew short, and the emeralds, a dozen strong, were delivered by convoy, then placed within the caverns below.
If I'm right, the energy from these Chaos Emeralds should resonate throughout the city's infrastructure, severing the gravimetric lines of force. Or, to put it another way, we're moving on up. Phew! That was almost the end.
But thanks to you, my love, it wasn't. Our world is safe for the next generation.
Funny. Even though we're taking it with us, I feel as though we're leaving home.
In this next segment, I would place... Hold on. What did I put next? Oh, that's all I had. Well, I guess that's it for this video. Happy birthday, Sonic. Nice try, I heard the floors creak.